I know this sounds crazy, but the CRM you pick doesn't even matter. And I'm dead serious. I've closed deals using a Google spreadsheet. I've closed deals using InvestorFuse and Podio. I know investors right now doing 6 figures a month on REsimply. And I know investors doing 6 figures on GoHighLevel. So after 9 years in this business, over 990,000 cold calls across my team and wholesaling in 34 states, the CRM was never the thing that made or broke the deal, but the wrong CRM that will absolutely cost you money. Yesterday, I was talking to an investor who was spending $487 a month on tools, and he had 0 deals. And it wasn't because the tools were bad, it was because nothing was talking to each other and leads were falling through the cracks. And so today I'm shooting this video because I want to show you exactly how to pick the right CRM for your stage, the one that you are in right now, not mine, yours. In the next, I'd say 15 minutes or so, I'm going to walk you through the CRMs that actually matter for wholesaling. I'm not going to give you 47 options, not a list that I got paid to read, just an honest breakdown of what works and what doesn't, depending on really where you are in your business right now. If you don't know who I am, my name is Keith Gillespie. I'm the owner of REI Automated, and I've spent over $1 million testing marketing channels across 34 states. And the CRM question, I get in my DMs every single day. And I'll tell you what I ran for the last 5 years, why we outgrew it, and what we just launched in REI Automated that I think changes everything. But first, here's the plan. 1, I want to go over free options when you're just starting out and really how you know when you've outgrown them. Second thing that I want to cover is the big 3, like REsimply, GoHighLevel, Podio. I'll go over the real pros, the real cons, the real pricing. Number 3, this is the one where most people get wrong because they get sold on the sales page about all these sexy features that really don't matter, and you spend a lot of money on something that's probably costing you some deals right now. So first, let me explain what happens without a CRM, right? So you'll pull a list, or however you're generating some marketing, you start calling, and somebody says, Keith, why don't you call me back in 2 weeks? And you write it down on a sticky note, or you put it in your phone, or you tell yourself you remember, and you don't remember. And 2 weeks later, someone else called that seller and they got the contract. You didn't, right? So a CRM doesn't close deals. You close deals. I want to be very clear about that. But a CRM does make sure that you're not going to forget to follow up. It does make sure that every lead has a status, and make sure that your team knows who calls and what was said. So think of it like this. It's kind of like CRM is kind of like a filing cabinet, your calendar and your assistant all rolled into one. And without that, you're just kind of relying on your memory, and your memory can't scale past you. So here's the honest truth. If you've done 0 deals though, hot take, you might not need a CRM yet. Google Sheet, hold your leads. But the second that you start spending some money on marketing and leads are coming in faster than you can track them effectively, well, that's when deals die. And that's when it makes sense for you to maybe spend some money on a system. Now, before I get into these paid CRMs, let me save you some money. Okay, so if you are doing your first deal, or maybe even your first 5 deals, guys, you do not need to be spending $150 a month on software. Here's what works for free. Google Sheets. Seriously, make a spreadsheet. Put your columns as the name, the address, the phone number, status, when you contacted them last, and some notes maybe, right? You can sort by status, you can filter by follow-up date. It's not sexy looking, it's ugly, but it works. And I know plenty of investors who have closed their first deal tracking their leads in a lame old spreadsheet. And there's 0 shame in that. If you want to get a little bit fancier, there's HubSpot. HubSpot's free. This is a real CRM that has a free tier, and they're really good at contact management. You can kind of build a pipeline, email tracking. It's not really built for real estate by any stretch of the imagination, but can you organize your first handful of leads? Absolutely. It does the job. Another one, kind of little known in our industry, is called Streak. This one lives inside Gmail, and you can track your pipeline without ever leaving your inbox. So if you're like a solopreneur, you're a single operator doing everything from your email, this one's kind of surprisingly useful. But here's the rule. Don't pay for a CRM until you have a problem that a CRM solves, right? If you're getting more leads than you can track in a spreadsheet, that's the signal. Until then, save your money and put it into marketing, because that's what's going to get you deals. But once you are ready to pay, this is where things get interesting. And here's where people make a really expensive mistake. REsimply is the one that you see everywhere online, and there's good reason for that. It was built by Sharad Mehta, I think his name is. He's done over 750 deals. And so the workflow actually makes sense for wholesalers. You're not trying to force like a marketing agency tool into a wholesaling shape. So here's what you get. So it's list stacking, free skip tracing. There's a phone system with call tracking and drip campaigns. I believe they still do direct mail, and they have a built-in dialer. You can build KPI dashboards so you can see what's working, what's not, and fairly confident that they've already launched their AI agents that can kind of handle follow-up and sort of make, answer some seller phone calls. So the biggest pro is that everything is under one roof, right? You're not connecting 5 different tools with Zapier. So your data and your calls and your marketing, it's kind of all in the same place. The biggest con of REsimply is the price. If I remember correctly, the basic plan right now is like $150 per month, but it's effectively useless. If you want all the really powerful features, like the monitoring and a speed to lead and multiple users, you're looking at like they're $300, $600 or more. So for a brand new investor who's doing 0 deals, like that is such a huge unnecessary expense. If you're doing deals consistently, you want a platform that handles almost everything. REsimply is kind of hard to beat. If you're brand new, you're not sure that this business is even for you, then it might be a little bit too much too soon. Now, GoHighLevel is the one that I'll cover next. GHL, this is where people get super confused. I see this debate in every Facebook group. GHL is a beast of a platform. They've got funnels, and websites, and email, and SMS, automation, appointment scheduling, pipeline management. It does a lot. But here's what most people don't tell you. It was built for marketing agencies, not for wholesalers, not for real estate investors. It was built for agencies that manage like freaking dentists and chiropractors and plumbers. Real estate features that are now in the system, they were like bolted on as an afterthought. Can you make it work for wholesaling? Yes. People do it every day, but you are going to spend so much time setting it up and building custom pipelines and creating your own workflows from scratch. Or if you're not going to spend the time to do that, then you're going to spend the money paying somebody else to do those things for you. And here's what really bugs me about the GHL space. A lot of these real estate investing CRMs that you see advertised, REI Reply, some of these other ones, they're just white labeled GoHighLevel. Somebody bought an agency plan for $300, slapped a real estate logo on it, changed the colors a little bit, and now they're charging you $150 to $800 a month for the exact same software. It's like the same apartment with a different paint job, Here's why this matters to you. When GoHighLevel raises their prices, they already have. Every single one of those resellers passes that cost on to you. When GoHighLevel has an outage, and they do, every single one of those resellers goes down at the same time, and you have zero control, right? There's no deal analyzer built in. There's no real TCPA compliant system. There's no department routing designed for how a real estate investing team actually works, right? So they have like a super cheap starter plan. It's like $100 a month, but you're also paying usage fees on every single text message and every single call on top of that. So the real cost is usually like a lot more once you're actually using it. So my take is if you're tech savvy and you want like total control over your marketing and automation, GoHighLevel is powerful. But if you want something that works out of the box for wholesaling or for investing in real estate, it's going to take some work. The next one that I'll cover is Podio. This is what I used to run. REI Automated was built on Podio for 5 years. So I know this platform inside and out. And let me just be really real about the good and the bad. Cool thing is Podio is essentially a blank canvas, okay? It doesn't do anything for real estate out of the box. You have to build it or buy a pre-built system from someone in the space. This is what we used to do. The base platform, dirt cheap. It's free for like 5 users on the basic plan. The paid plan starts out at like $14 to $24 a month. But to make Podio work for wholesaling, you need integrations, and a lot of them. You need smartphone for calling and texting. That's like another $75 to $125 a month. You need GlobiFlow or PWA for some automation tools. Maybe CallRail for call tracking and Zapier to connect everything. So by the time you've built out like a full Podio system for wholesaling, you're paying like $200 or $300 per month minimum, and it's spread out across multiple subscriptions. The thing that was super frustrating is when something breaks, which things do break a lot, you're not troubleshooting one platform, right? You're having to dig through like 3 or 4 different tools to try to find where the problem is. And here's the thing, I ran REI Automated on Podio for 5 years. We helped hundreds and hundreds of people close their first deal on that system. I personally made $300,000 in a single year while I was running on Podio. I was active duty in the Marine Corps, and I was only working 1 hour per day. The system worked, right? Podio worked, but the software was always my ceiling. These filters, I would try to filter something, it would take like 30 seconds to load. My data was getting lost. I'm constantly patching in integrations together to make sure that just the basic things function. Your dialer was over here, your CRM was over here, Zapier's in the middle, trying to hold it all together. Dude, if you're starting out and you want something flexible and cheap and you're tech savvy, Podio all the way. Podio works. People are still closing, like lots of people are closing lots of deals on it. But after living in the platform for 5 years, we knew that we had hit the ceiling. We needed something that was built from the ground up for how investors actually worked. And that's when everything changed for us. I'll show you what we built in a minute. I'm not going to throw you, a feature comparison chart or anything crazy on the screen here with 47 check marks. Here are the only features that actually matter when it comes to wholesale deals. Number 1, follow-up. Automation, right? Can the CRM remind you to call someone back and send a text message or email automatically when you don't? This is the number 1 deal killer in all of wholesaling. It's not bad marketing, it's bad follow-up. So whatever CRM you pick, make sure that it handles this. The second thing, call tracking. You need to know which marketing channel brought in that lead. If you can't track where your calls are coming from, you're flying blind with your marketing budget. I spent over $1 million in marketing, and tracking is how I know where to put my next dollar. Very important. The third thing, pipeline visibility. Can you see at a glance how many leads are in each stage? How many folks need follow-up today? How many contracts are out? If you can't see your pipeline, you can't manage it, right? Fourth, speed to lead. This is the ability to call a lead back fast as soon as they come in. So Harvard Business Review, did a study about this years ago, and they showed that calling a lead within 5 minutes makes you 100 times more likely to connect. So if your CRM can't notify you instantly when a lead hits or even reach out for you, then you are losing deals to investors who can. Here's another thing that a lot of people overlook is TCPA compliance. Guys, this is not a nice to have anymore. These TCPA violations, they cost you $500 up to $1,500 per message. So one bad mass text to the wrong list, that could be a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. It's happening to investors all over right now. It happened to me last year, and it was one of the major factors of us building our own CRM and putting this in there. If your CRM, guys, if it doesn't handle quiet hours, opt-in detection, consent tracking automatically, y'all are playing with fire. Like you're gonna get bit, okay? All the other stuff, AI agents, built-in comps, direct mail, driving for dollars, those are bonuses. Follow-up, tracking, pipeline, speed, compliance. I'd say those are the 5 things that protect your business, and those are the 5 things that close deals. So here's the full story. For 5 years, REI Automated ran on Podio, and it worked. I already told you. We've helped hundreds of investors close their first deal. I built a system on a platform that made me $330,000 in a year while I was active duty in the Marine Corps, working 1 hour per day. A lot of it, I was overseas. And that system changed my life. I'm super grateful. It got me out of the military. I was able to come home to my family. But the software underneath it is basically held together with duct tape and zip ties. Like, not gonna lie. The dialer didn't live inside the CRM. Skip tracing came from somewhere else. Follow-up sequences were on a different platform. Ringless voicemails were over here. Emails were over there. And every time a zap broke in the middle of the night and leads didn't get logged, like nobody knew until the deal was gone. And I'm thinking to myself this whole time, like, what if the software was as good as my system? What if the technology actually matched the process? And so I hired a developer. His name's Ryan. I love him to death. I said, Ryan, build me the CRM I wish existed. From zero, no templates, no white labeling, no GoHighLevel or Salesforce or anything like that. Underneath, I want every single line of code built specifically for real estate investors. We just launched it. I'm so excited. You can probably tell. We just launched it, REI Automated, about 45 days ago from time of this recording. And it's not a reskin of anything. It currently has 109 features built from scratch, purpose-built for how wholesalers actually work. Here's what that means in plain English. Your pipeline updates in real time. You drag a deal from one stage to another and it moves. There's no refreshing. There's no spinning wheel of death. There's no waiting 30 seconds like on Podio. Your dialer is built in. It's powered by Telnix, right? It's all in one app. You see your leads, you click, and you're calling. The calls log automatically. The notes save to your leads. Your follow-up sequences trigger automatically without you touching anything. Every call that your team makes, it's transcribed by AI. You get the full transcript, you get a summary and an analysis and action steps. So if your acquisition manager, they made 50 calls today, you can read 50 summaries in 10 minutes total. You know every conversation without listening to a single recording. Oh, if only I had this 5 years ago. There's also an AI assistant. It's called Keith GPT. It lives inside the CRM and it actually understands your data. You can ask it questions about your pipeline, about deal analysis, about your leads. It's connected to your CRM. It's also connected to your training library. So it knows everything that I know. It's not some basic stupid chatbot. You can think of this like a full-time analyst that works inside your business 24/7 and it doesn't get sick. It's not lazy and it never asks for a raise. TCPA compliance. Man, I got wrecked last year. TCPA compliance is built into the system. The system knows that Florida's quiet hours are different than New Jersey's and it enforces them automatically. This way, your team cannot accidentally send a text message at 9 p.m. in a state where it's illegal. People will text you, stop. It catches, take me off your list. Don't contact me again. Over 30 different variations of that stuff. And every blocked message is logged. Every opt-out is tracked. Every consent record, it has a timestamp. Your GHL reseller gives you a stop keyword and leaves you hoping for the best that you're not going to get sued. We give you a compliance system. If you ever get challenged, you have receipts for every single communication. And if you're running a team, deals route themselves, meaning when a lead moves from fresh to in discovery, it automatically goes from your lead gen team to your acquisitions team. When that deal goes under contract, it then routes to your transaction coordinator. And you can do this any different way. We have like round robin, lease loaded, load balanced, specific user. Like you can pick the strategy. It doesn't matter. You set it up once and you're done. There's no more manually handing things off. No more deals falling through the cracks. Y'all, this isn't even half the features. I could talk forever and ever. I'm not going to. There's a deal analyzer with an AI repair estimator. There's a campaign builder. There's an automation engine with 30 plus triggers. There's a property IQ integration that pulls in ownership records and tax records and foreclosure data. It's all right there inside your pipeline. And I'm not just telling you that it works. We have Isa, first generation immigrant, Hawaii. She's made $114,000 in 2 weeks and 2 days using our system. Christine got laid off. She joined us and had her first deal under contract within a month. We have a physician juggling 3 jobs, closed a virtual deal in 71 days in a city that he had never visited, completely virtually. We've got a father of 13 traveling the US in an RV, working on a deal with a projected net profit of $175,000. These are all real clients of mine with recorded conversations on our YouTube channel that you can go watch right now. They're already up. You can try our entire platform for $1. $1 gets you a 28-day trial. There's no demo calls with my team. There's no waiting on me. You put in $1 and in 5 minutes, you are inside setting up your pipeline. You also get access to our training library. So the triage call course, marketing for motivation, perfect presentation, deal structure dictionary. Y'all, these are good courses. This is good training. Over $2,200 in training included for free. Plus 1,000 free credits to DealLabs, which is our lead generation software, DealLabs. This way you can start filling your pipeline quite literally on day one. And if you're currently using Podio or REsimply or GoHighLevel or any other CRM right now, we will migrate your data for you. Concierge service. Your deals, your contracts, your pipeline history, whatever, we'll handle it. And if you love it, which I think you will, it rolls over to $200 a month after your trial. If you don't love it, cancel anytime during those first 28 days. You'll never be charged another cent. You can walk away with the courses and the knowledge that you picked up. No hard feelings from me at all. The link for this is in the description below. All right, let's wrap up. Here's the bottom line. If you are brand new, don't pay for DealBase, don't pay for anybody's CRM. You need to start with the spreadsheet. Close your first deal. Prove to yourself that this business works. If you are already doing deals and you're ready to scale, pick one CRM. We've talked about REsimply. If you want like a proven all-in-one, GoHighLevel if you're technical, you want control, that's for you. Podio if you want flexibility and you don't mind building it out. And if you want a CRM that was built from the ground up by an investor who spent 5 years on the same broken tech stack that you are running right now, try DealBase for $1. Links below. But here's what matters more than any of them. The best CRM is the one you actually use every day, consistently, the one that you log into every morning and work your pipeline. And the worst CRM is the one that you're paying for, but you're not using because it's too complicated, it's too expensive, it's too disconnected from how you actually work. So pick one, commit to it, work your leads. And if you want to know why I stopped investing in my own city and started investing virtually, watch this video.